Hi, welcome back and welcome to another read. So a few quick things before we get started, and I will put timestamps in the description box so you can skip past this intro if you'd like. If you're someone who's been a viewer for some time and you're familiar with the spiel. But essentially, okay, so first things first, if this video helps you in any way, or if you just enjoy it, I greatly appreciate it if you hit the thumbs up button. That will increase the likelihood that someone else will see it, and it has the potential to help them as well, and we want that. If there's going to be an extended for this read, the link to the extended will be in the description box. If there isn't a link there, then there isn't an extended for this one. And lastly, I just want to speak briefly to intentions so that you have an understanding of what my approach is. We shuffle for, okay, so what I ask for is information that needs to be known, that needs to come out, and that can be good, in which case we will praise it. And I'm here to celebrate with you and hail you up in those moments. And other times, it could err on the side of a kind of message that we don't necessarily want to hear, but it's something that we need to hear for our highest good. And those are equally as important. I take those very seriously, and I try to approach them with care. There's no pressure to comment if you don't want to, especially if the subject matter is something that's difficult or it's you're tender. But I would encourage you to like, if it resonated in that particular way. Again, just so it can reach those who it could potentially help. So, that being said, let's get to this read. Excuse me. You understand. You understand. One more. So, what seems to be central right now is the direction that your life takes. The direction that your life takes. Where are you going to go next? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Some of you could be interviewing for a job of some kind, or just trying to come up with a plan for the future. The life that you have and the life that you will have, it's a culmination of all of the decisions that you've made up until this point, and your future will look like those decisions still. Yeah. So there's something that's being carefully weighed here. There's something that's being carefully considered. One sec. My lips were just so dry. Okay. Thank you for waiting. So there's something being carefully weighed here. There's something being carefully considered, and the choices that you make are going to have an impact on your life. What I like is the headspace that you're in right now is a very good one. Responsible is what I'm getting. It's what is informing these decisions is something very good. I think that you are paying close attention to how you feel about it. The advice of other people, advisors, family members, mentors, people that are maybe not mentors, but people that are in our orbit. It's taking a bit of a backseat to your personal feelings about it, and you have to start there. That's why I say you're being very responsible in that regard, because you're the one that will have to live with the consequences of your decisions at the end of the day. There doesn't seem to be more that needs to be said apart from what I just said about you being the one to live with the consequences of your decisions. That just Listen to 9 by Drake, I think is the name of the song. It's on his Views album. Drake is also a Scorpio. Okay. Let's talk about what's here. All right, here are your cards. Let's grab your clarifiers and we'll talk about these. Ten of Wands, Queen of Cups, so we got excitement and protection. That's going to be Mercury in Gemini and Moon in Aries. Bottom of the deck we have order. We're going to talk about these first. We'll go over these first on the off chance that any of the messages on these cards stick out to you or resonate with you. Could be an indication that this is your read. So first things first. Brown eyes. The month of December. Petty. No one compares to you. You could be dealing with an Aquarius. Isolation. Love. The month of October. Ghost. Gaslighting. Let go or be dragged. And the number 7. All right, let's talk about what is here. There are choices being made by you around this time. And there is so much power in your steps. There is so much, you have a very solid sense of direction and a belief in your ability. Trivial things like emotions or feelings or depression, and we call them trivial, but they are important. But I say that to say that you aren't overwhelmed by things like these, they aren't clouding your judgment. The things that you decide to work towards, the things that you decide to do, you're making these decisions in a very matter-of-fact way. Your steps are ordered, like the steps of a righteous man. So there's a lot of control. There's a lot of control, and you have this ability to transmute your desires into, or transmit your desires and your will into action, into a path that you can follow all the way to success, all the way to the bank. Now, although yes, some of these steps that you're taking, you will have to take alone. There are some things that you'll have to go through alone, which is where I think that isolation energy comes in. It's really important that you remember that you are supported by a couple key individuals in your life. They do have something valuable to add to your life in the form of advice. You'll know who these people are because they are going to be the ones who are going to be encouraging you and letting you know that you do have what it takes, letting you know that your opinion is what should matter first, and what your heart desires is what should matter first. These are the people who remind you that you are enough. These are the people who are reminding you that you have what it takes, because you do. There are a couple who are trying to impose their will onto you, or their way of doing things onto you. But as we said in the first part, there is more than one way to be successful. There is more than one way to make money. And what someone feels is going to be good for you may not necessarily be the case. So the challenge then becomes finding that intersection of the advice that you're being given with what you want for yourself. It's finding that point where what's in your best interest is considered and given the platform. During the times that you feel the most alone, or the times that you feel like no one else understands, or that no one gets it, it's important to understand that you are not. You do have a really good influence in your life that can definitely be in the form of a mentor. This is someone who you look up to. This is someone who praises your eccentricity. They don't make you feel like a freak for wanting certain things. They don't make you feel judged. The advice that they give you, you trust that it's in your best interest. And it is. I don't get that it's self-serving. It's like through this person you have learned important things like self-respect. You've learned how to value yourself. You've learned how to see your value. You've learned that your value is something that is worth fighting for. It's worth sticking up for. And there's some really good things that you're learning from them about priorities and about the world in general. There is a prophetic nature to the wisdom that they impart in you, and you're using it as a framework of sorts. So the road before you will not be an easy one. Anything in life that is worth having is going to take a significant amount of work on your part to attain. But you get by with focus and with assistance and guidance from those who you can trust. These first two cards, clarifiers that came out. We have the Ten of Wands twice in your read, and it says here, too much work, accept help from others, life is out of balance, stress-related health concerns. So it is certainly okay to accept help from others, because I feel like your judgment can be trusted here. You are practicing discernment, and I think that you know what you're doing. There's a mastery of self that has happened here to where you can take advice with a grain of salt, and you can understand that there is something that you can glean from the advice that's being given to you, even if you don't follow it all the way. It's like you run that advice through a filter and you take parts of it that align with your spirit, that you know are right for you. For some of you, this could be an Aquarius. The next one we have here is Queen of Cups. Tender-hearted, empathetic, patient, and loving. Relationships develop to a new level. Trust your intuition and care for yourself and others. This really echoes what we were talking about when it comes down to doing what is right for you, right? Understanding that the choices that you make, you are going to have to live with. But there's a sense of accountability here and responsibility that you're taking for how your life pans out. Let's talk about these two here. The first one we have is Mercury in Gemini, and we will talk about that one first. Let's see. Excitement. On a prancing, nervous horse, a sagacious figure blows a great horn, the echoes broadcasting like rays across the cloudy sky. Behind, an old, venerated tower symbolizes past wisdom and achievements. Mercury is totally at home in the sign of Gemini. Here, in its natural sign, it describes someone with an excitable, agile, and versatile mind, a personality type found in all kinds of media, teaching, and publicity roles. People with this planet sign combination have an intense curiosity for everything going on around them, and this gives them a sparkling pleasure in life, which is easily communicated to others. Capable of deep, concentrated thought, Mercury Geminians are more likely to spread themselves mentally in order to learn everything about everything. An holistic approach to taking on information has more appeal to this character than the dogged, specialist research of one subject. This card describes people who show an interest in all forms of communication, the media, travel, and social gatherings. They have a talent for writing and talking and are most probably making a successful career in this area. This placing of Mercury certainly offers a great deal of originality and versatility to express. When this card appears in a reading, it usually indicates that the questioner will benefit from a period of busy, communicative socializing with plenty of short trips related to the question. Negatively, the excitement card can denote constant changing of the mind, a jumping from one decision to the next with equal excitement and enthusiasm that annoys others. We'll go over this one, we'll read this one next, and, well, you don't necessarily have to talk about them together. I do want to speak on this one first. The number 31 could be important, also 33. So what stands out to me here, we were talking about in the first part and also this part of the read about choices being made, right? So there is a kind of gusto to your energy, I would say. There's a lot of different directions that you could go right now, which is a common problem for someone who is multifaceted and multi-talented. There's many things that you can do here. That's what I'm getting from the Gemini energy here, and also what I'm getting from the Magician and the Star and the Hermit. This is very mutable energy, very eccentric, very creative. So I feel like you need whatever you choose, whichever direction your life takes, you really need the freedom to be able to express yourself. So if you find yourself, in these relationships where your steps are being decided for you, or, someone is really wanting you to walk the line, I don't think that those are going to be jobs. Those are going to be relationships that you're going to be very happy in. I do think that you'll be able to find some kind of value in that role, whether it's that your bills are getting paid, or in that relationship, in the way that you will be able to, you'll be able to glean something from it out of the minutia, but you are still going to feel as though there is a yoke that you're wearing, like your movements are being restricted or being controlled. And I think that you desire, if I can say, you desire some type of creative control over how your life pans out. And I think that you should seek out roles that give you an opportunity to do that, or roles where you're able to, your input is valued, or you're given an opportunity to decide what kinds of projects the company takes on, or the direction that the company goes. I do get that you need some type of creative control here. The next one we have is the Moon in Mars. Moon in Aries, I should say. Protection. All right. A gentle mother dotes on her children. The waxing moon above, with the symbol of the tiger below, indicates an immense, instinctive, protective power of the feminine side of human nature. The combination of Moon and Aries indicates a powerful need to respond emotionally and immediately to a situation. This can make people with this planet sign combination quite volatile and impulsive, expressing what they feel in a direct and willful manner. But because of the fluctuating nature of the Moon and the speed of action of Mars, quick flare-ups are fortunately just as quickly forgotten. The person this card describes has feelings that are strongly colored by early childhood conditioning and an intense need to protect and defend anything that represents family, quote unquote. Just as the moon cycle waxes and wanes, so the Moon Aries nature can be somewhat moody and changeable, fluctuating with the environment. Often the Moon Arian has a strong impressionability that could indicate some psychic ability or potential for medium-like powers. There is a great deal of independence in the Moon Aries combination, but if the negative side takes over, this card can describe an emotional bully. The Moon Aries' need for recognition could also lead to approval seeking. In a reading, this card might suggest that the questioner watch that sympathy with another's predicament does not leave him or her vulnerable to manipulation. One could find oneself having to protect one's position. The card may indicate a link with the questioner's talent for buying property or running a business from home. So big independence energy coming through with this, and feeling as though there is something that you must defend or protect here. And we spoke about this briefly when we were talking about you learning from someone really important in your life about the things that are worthy of defending. And whoever this person is, they are steering you right. They are giving you good advice in that regard. Your value is something that you should never forget and that you should never forsake. It does come with a warning, however, that in your quest for independence, just be careful that you aren't steamrolling anyone. Independence is an energy that you get into. It's not something to chase. And standing firm in that power, and but knowing, you know, when it's appropriate to accept help is a balancing act that most Aries must master in their lifetime. And I say that from experience as an Aries who had to do that. Another thing that caught my eye, we had the number 7 here, which is the life path number of the spiritual leader, one who is on a quest for wisdom, one who is on a quest for knowledge. So you may have the life path 7, you don't necessarily have to, but this just could be that energy that you're in right now, where you are on a kind of quest and you're seeking answers. This was your read. I hope that this helped. If so, go ahead and give this video a like. I encourage you to subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you know when my videos are being posted, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.